Hey guys, and welcome to this episode of the Happy Knitting Podcast. My name is Julia. I'm coming to you from the UK, and today is Sunday, the 14th of April 2024. I am coming to you very quickly today as I have basically told my husband and son to stay out of the living room and be quiet for 15 to 20 minutes. So we'll see how that goes. But I did want to quickly catch you up on some of the projects I've been working on and also just give you a bit of an update of what I'm planning to work on these next 2 weeks. So first up, did I organize this properly? No, there's my son. Nee. Geh nochmal ins Esszimmer, Schatz. There we go. We made it 48 seconds before we got interrupted. Big ta-da! I have finished my crochet blanket. So this is my V-stitch blanket that I started last year, and then this hibernated for a long time, and I picked it back up a couple of weeks ago, and I think I've done about a good third, if not, I think from this pink stripe upwards, this is what I've done since I picked it up again, is to finish it off. And it looks sort of crinkly. It's because I dried it outside yesterday and then threw it on the couch, and I think it wasn't quite dry, so it's a little bit crinkly, but you know what? It's a blanket. It'll be fine. It is done and I love it. If you just look up V-stitch blanket on Google or whatever, you'll find a million instructions for these kinds of blankets. I just did 1 row stripes on a 4.5 millimeter, 4.0 millimeter hook. A hook size H if you're in the States. And the yarn that I used was Schepjes Stonewashed, and this blanket weighs about 550 grams. So yeah, it used up quite a chunk of yarn, and basically I just kept going until I was running out of some colors. So I think this turquoise, I tried to put in another stripe and ran out of yarn, and I didn't want to go too far without the turquoise because I wanted all the colors to sort of be spread across the blanket. So this is now done. I am very happy to have finished 2 sort of lingering blanket whips within a couple of months. So yeah, finished object, and I will promise you the rest of this will be knitting if you're more into the knitting. So, very quickly, we're going on holiday in 2 weeks. I have been casting on all the things, but I'm realizing I should finish things instead, because I'm not going to take any whips with me, and I just have so many things going, and it would be nice to... I won't have a clean slate because I'll definitely not finish everything, but to finish a couple of things so that I can cast on with wild abandon once I get to that. So what do I want to finish? Whip number 1 that I would like to get finished, and I think this is reasonable within the next 2 weeks. This is the first sock for my husband in the very neon yarn by Das Mondschaf, a German indie dyer, on her or Pegasus sock base. This is I Am the One Who Knocks, which is a Breaking Bad reference. It is very, very bright on a very bright day. So yeah, first sock is almost done. I am on the toe decreases. I just need to let him try it on, and this will be priority number 1. Essentially 2 projects I would like to get finished before we go. If I manage more, we'll see. But yeah, I need to get back to this. The second project that I would like to finish before we go away is my Lento by... It used to be Jonna Hietala. I think now it's Jonna Helin. So this is my Lento sweater. And as you can see, I've done about 5 inches maybe on the body, but I haven't really worked on this recently. But this is on a very large gauge. It's a skein of Knit Picks palette held together with mohair on 5 millimeter needles, so it is going quite quickly. So my goal again for this, I think it is manageable to finish this. If not, I just want to get as close to finishing as I possibly can. So definitely want to finish the body, and really I could finish a sleeve a day with this yarn combination. So this is my second whip that I would like to get done before the holidays. So you can see here, this is Knit Picks palette. Don't know the colorway name, I think. Oh, maybe I do. In the Iris Heather colorway. There we go. And the mohair, I have all the labels today. What is going on? This is Rico Design Essentials Super Kit Mohair Silk. In possibly the colorway, it doesn't tell me. There we go, 13. So I'm holding these two together to make this lentor. You know how much I love the lentor. I wear them all the time. So if I finish this before the holiday, that would also mean I could take it with me to wear. So yeah, these are my two projects. They're now in this bin, which this is my to finish bin. If I finish all of this, I had another project that I could finish before I go away and I forgot which one it is. I don't know. I've lost track of my projects. But these are my to be worked on projects from now onwards. But I have cast on 2 new things. So yesterday I was really feeling like casting on some scrappy socks after finishing that crochet blanket. And I have joined a couple of mini clubs lately. I'm trying not to buy yarn, and somehow buying like little mini clubs somehow seems like I'm not really buying yarn, so I'm tricking myself. One of them is the Indie Yarn Club in the UK. I am not sponsored by any of the yarns or anything I mentioned today, by the way. I got my first shipment and I really like it. In fact, I may have gotten their advent calendar as well. And this mini, you get 3 minis. And this one I really liked. It's like the faintest shade of lilac with pink and neon yellow speckles. So I wanted to make socks out of this with something else, whatever I found in stash. So what I've done is I paired it with this blue mini, which I got from a German yarn festival in Munich years and years and years ago. I think this is Lakshmi Yarns from Germany. Not sure if they're dying anymore. I don't know. And then I decided to get out this cake of yarn, which is now tangled. This I originally used to make a sock design, which never made it. Eventually, I just wound the yarn back and it's been sitting in my stash. This is from Felt Fusion. It's actually from one of her fade sets from like years and years ago. So I'm thinking if I have enough left over, I might actually use the rest of this as a fade with the other 2 skeins that I have and make some kind of faded shawl. I originally wanted to make a sort of pink faded sweater, but that was years ago and I'm not sure if I still want to do that. But this could make a good Stephen West shawl with some other yarn. Anyway, so I'm holding these 3 yarns together and I am making striped socks. So I really just wanted to find yarns that made this shine, and I'm not sure if it's shining on camera, but it's really beautiful. It is really beautiful in person. So I'm using the blue just for the cuffs and the toes. And I am striping the purple and the white speckly one throughout the entire sock. And my plan is to also use the purple for the heels. So this white one, the speckly one, doesn't have nylon, but it is a high twist yarn, so I think it should be fine. But since I have most of this purple anyways, and the blue is also a merino nylon blend, I'm going to be using that for heels and toes, and I think it'll be quite a fun sock. And I'm knitting them concurrently. I don't know who I am and what I'm doing, but I'm really enjoying this. I think I started this one and then I really wanted to get the second cuff done as well, just because I find cuffs annoying to knit. And then I was like, actually, I could just knit them sort of in tandem. And that way, obviously, once I'm, done, I'm done. And it's going quite quickly because I'm doing 10 row stripes and I'm cutting the yarn anyways. So I can just switch between socks and make some progress. So I did all of this yesterday, but like I said, now I need to work on my higher priority whips. This may sort of go into, I don't want to say hibernation, I'm sure I'll work on them, but this is not my most immediate knitting plan, but I really like them. As you can tell, just plain vanilla socks, 2x2 rib, 64 stitches, US size 1 needles. So this is what I started yesterday. I just needed some like neon scrappy project. I'm really into more like playing with colors at the moment. And then it's really funny. I bought some yarn a couple of weeks ago because I had this craving to make one of these like slowly like fading gradient whatever like garter stitch wraps. And I was looking at this yarn. This is Schreepjes, in the Coral Catastrophe colorway. And I love their names. I think their names are hilarious. They have a lot of really funny names. Like they have Strawberry and Scream. And yeah, quite a lot of them. They cracked me up. And I had looked at this colorway on Ravelry and saw that someone else paired it with a mohair. I think they used a Sandnes mohair in like a browny beigey shade to make one of those Hohi Locatelli sweaters with the mohair lace and solid color. And it was so pretty. I saved that picture and it gave me the idea to do something similar. So I got this together. Schreepjes Coral Catastrophe, and I got 4 skeins of this. This is a mohair. I don't have the label. This is from Novita, which is a Finnish brand, I believe. And this is their Tuli, Twli, Tuuli, which is a mohair and polyamide or something. Like it is not a mohair silk. It's slightly more affordable, but I thought it was really pretty. So I got 4 skeins of this, and I was gonna make some kind of asymmetric garter stitch shawl. And then I kept stumbling over one of Stephen West's most recent patterns, which is the faded undulation shawl. And suddenly I bought the pattern, and suddenly it's like, oh my God, I have the perfect yarn for this. Because I was looking at kits. I didn't think I had anything in stash, and then I realized I can just combine the shawl and the yarn that I wanted to knit anyways, and the pattern that I wanted to knit, and look, isn't it pretty? So I've knit quite a bit on this, but my gauge is a lot bigger than Stephen's, as I am holding I should say the whirl is a cotton and possibly acrylic mix, and I'm holding it with a mohair, and I think the shawl is written for fingering weight yarn. So I purposely used a 3.75 millimeter needle as well, because I wanted something really light and drapey. So the shawl is basically just, a beautiful feather and fan pattern as you go. It's gonna go all across the shawl, and it's really easy to modify in terms of length. So you can just knit more or less repeats essentially to make it whatever size you want, which is perfect, because this means I can knit this with a completely different gauge and it's still going to be perfect. And I'm not sure if you can see the fade. It is starting to fade now very slowly, but obviously it's going to go much darker as we get into the center of this cake. And this has been so enjoyable to knit. It's very sort of meditative. It's a very easy repeat. It's very easy to read your knitting. So I've been basically just working on this every night as I was watching TV with Kai. And yeah, this is so drapey. And I wasn't sure about this initially because I love these kinds of yarns with the gradients. They're relatively affordable. But I never know how much I enjoy working with like a cotton or even cotton acrylic blend. Sometimes they make my hands hurt. And this initially did when I was using wooden needles because I think it wasn't slipping. And then once I changed to my Chaogus, which are metal needles, it's working out beautifully. And because I'm holding it with the mohair, it's producing a really nice fabric. So I'm thinking this could be something like a combination of one of these yarns with a mohair could be something that I do again in the future. And this is very, very drapey on a very loose gauge, but I also think this would be very pretty on a tighter gauge. So this is Faded Undulation by Stephen West. I love it. Again, I'm gonna try to make this go on the back burner a little bit, but we'll see. The only other project that I can think of right now is my handspun Strange Brew pullover, but I haven't brought it. I've just worked on the body a little bit when I was unable to think of and do anything more than go in the round in stockinette. My cardigan keeps slipping off my shoulders. This is the Stria cardigan by Andrea Mowry. It's really pretty. It's got this fisherman's rib or half fisherman's rib. It was a pain to knit. I knit this with one strand of Holst Super Soft, which this took a long time to knit. And I do like it, but it also, as you can tell, it kind of slips off my shoulders. I don't wear it that much. Sorry, I now have my son watching me through the glass door. This took me a long time to knit, and I do like it. I don't love it in terms of the fit. I probably wouldn't knit it again, but I do think it's very pretty. And I needed something this morning to just slip over my jumpsuit that I'm wearing today. And as I've told you, I think I've put a lot of my wintry cardigans and jumpers away. And maybe I put one of them away that I shouldn't have put away. So yeah, wearing something different today, which is good because all the knits should be worn, right? I think that's all. Oh, I mentioned another whip. I still have my Simon shawl going by Twinset and Pearls, but I mean, I have been working a lot on this, but you just don't see much progress really. It's just getting slightly bigger and I am in the middle of a row. But yeah, this is also still on the needles. Maybe I can try to get this past the halfway point. The problem is I want to use the entire gradient for this, and I've only used, I think, I still have 77 grams or something crazy of this. So ideally I would like to, use up 50 grams before I start decreasing. I'm wondering how large the shawl will become, but who knows, we'll see. So yeah, that is also on the needles. And guys, I think that's it for today because I do keep getting interrupted. I just quickly wanted to check in and then I'll be back with you next week. And then we'll see. Yeah. So thank you so much for watching. If you're only here for the knitting, if you want to hear a super quick house update, we have another leak. We have a leak in a very different place than usual, basically on the side opposite our bathroom, which is not great. So we've torn up some of the wallpaper, which is hideous anyways. So it's giving us a kick in the butt to get rid of that wallpaper. But yeah, we're hopefully having someone come around and have a look at that this week, because I hope this is just the tub overflow. So something that ideally he can fix without tearing out our entire bathroom tiling or like drilling into our walls. I have no experience with this, but it's a major pain in the butt. I'm really annoyed by it, especially because we're making such good progress on the house and on the garden. And even today we've been doing so much work. My husband has been doing so much work with, bitumen paint and making everything better. And yeah, just another setback. But cross your fingers, it will be an easy-ish fix. And then we have to worry about, another like layer of wallpaper and painting and ugh. Yeah, so that's what's happening. But I don't think we have the mouse problem anymore, at least for now. I do hope it's not gonna be a thing like every 3 months we have mice and then we deal with them and then they come back. But for now we are good. So yeah, we've been spending a lot of time in the garden. We had our first barbecue yesterday, which was lovely. And yeah, today is Sunday and I'm just going to spend some time knitting today. So I should probably let my son back into the living room. And I will talk to you guys very soon. Thank you for watching. Bye!